Meaning is literally like water and air for our soul. And so if we don't have meaning, we wither and die. Ever feel like life is just pointless? Like you're just sort of going through the motions, but nothing feels really good or satisfying or thrilling? I've been there. Made millions only to realize that it didn't bring me the happiness that I had dreamed of. And so that was a massive letdown. I was lost for years because of it, but it doesn't have to be that way. And so why am I making this video? I'm making it because I've been there, I've been through it, and I'm on the other end, and I see people almost every day struggling, depressed, miserable, lost, distracted, and I would just like to help because I see what's on the other end and it's amazing. And so in the next few minutes, I'm sharing 5 steps that I used to help me find deep meaning and purpose in my life, get me out of my rut, out of my hole, and create something that's truly fulfilling. And I hope that you can learn from it and do the same with your life. So understanding meaninglessness. So first, let's dig into what that real feeling of meaninglessness is and where it comes from. Every philosopher and psychologist I've ever read says something very similar about what meaning is in our lives. Meaning comes down to that deeply satisfying energy that you feel when you are doing things that you truly value and you're being the person that you really want to be deep inside, even if you are unconscious of what that real person is. In the opposite effect, meaninglessness is when you are not doing things that really align with your core values and bring you this like really good energy in your life, and you are not being the person that deep down you really want to be. And so what happens if you're doing things that you don't value and you're being the sort of person that you don't actually want to be deep down? It drains you of energy. And over time, it's like a battery. You're not recharging it with these good things, with these things that you value, with this person that you want to be that makes you feel good inside and that makes you feel rewarded. And so as you drain that battery by doing and being the things you don't want to do or be, then it just depletes to a point where you get depressed, you get demotivated, you get distracted, you try and find distractions, you get really, really sort of miserable and down. And so the good news is that that can be reversed and you can get and do and be something that recharges your batteries, gives you energy, and gives you the deeper meaning that you want in life. And the next thing that we need to know is that as humans, we operate on meaning. And if you think about it, that's why we tell stories. That's why we build businesses. That's why we create communities. That's why we create families. That's why we create civilizations. All of these things bring us deeper meaning. And so if you want to look at it in a different way, here's something for you nihilists out there. Think about this one. Even if the universe is completely meaningless, we know for a fact, as humans, we need meaning in our lives in order to be happy. So if we build that meaning with each other and have a happy life and feel fulfilled, it actually doesn't even really matter what the universe is doing, because that's what is our battery. That's what we run on. And so if we do that, we can build a meaningful life, get the meaning that we need, and die happy. Meaning is literally like water and air for our soul. And so if we don't have meaning, we wither and die. Essentially, we need to create meaning in our life so that we can be alive and be fulfilled. And here's the key, which you probably might have figured out. Meaning doesn't just get handed to us. We have to create it in our lives. And that, if you look at Jung or Nietzsche, in fact, particularly, he's the one who said, "He who has a why can bear almost any how." So let's find your why. So step number one, know your values and know who you are. Have you ever really asked yourself, who am I? What really matters to me? Or what inspires me in life? It took me a long time to ask myself that question. And it was only when I was suffering and miserable after I had thrown away all my money in my businesses that I really started to ask myself, what really matters to me in life? What are the things that I need to have in my life to feel fulfilled and feel like my life has meaning? That's when some surprising answers started to come up. So the question for you, is it freedom? Is it connection? Is it community? Is it creativity? Is it adventure? What are the values that you need in your life to really feel inspired and to give you energy? And then listen for the answer. And I would also suggest writing it down so you start to understand literally who you are. And here's a little cheat. This is sort of things I looked at. What are your favorite movies or your favorite books? That might give you a hint. Number two is set meaningful goals and then take action on them. And here's the thing, goal setting might freak you out a little bit, but even the smallest little goals can be very, very helpful. But the key with this is aligning these goals with your real values and making sure that you're challenging yourself in areas where you're getting energy, you're being inspired. These are things that you really, really want to do or be. And in fact, when I moved here, a big part of my focus was in creating a structured approach to finding my purpose and finding all of the things that I really, really wanted in my life. And what started to happen is my life that I wanted started to unfold in front of me as I pushed myself. So one of the things that I do that might help you is creating a 5-year long-term vision. Where do I see myself in 5 years? And then I create small goals that will get me closer to that 5-year vision. Step number 3, build meaningful relationships and think about others. And so for meaning in our lives, it really comes down to other humans and our interactions with them. That's why we need community. And that's why a lot of people are struggling today, is because we lack really good, deep communities. So surround yourself with people who get you, who inspire you, who are honest with you, who challenge you. And for me, that's what I do here. I surround myself with people who are honest, they're more authentic, they want a simpler, more minimal, but deeply fulfilling life. And if you don't have that, then join a group, call a friend, volunteer. Connection is so powerful, and we don't really quite understand that anymore. And yet, the best thing you can do is to be in the world with other people and actually help them. Get a little less selfish and self-absorbed about what you want, and go out there and do something for someone else. And don't seek any kind of reward for it. And in fact, you could probably start with your family or your loved ones. Think about what you could do or help them with that would make them really happy. Think about even someone who has inspired you in your life, and think about how you could thank them, first of all, or go out and be that inspiring person for someone else who may need it. And step number 4 is embrace the present. Slow down, chill out, look around, appreciate what you have in your life right now, and appreciating those little moments. As some of the great ones have said, be in the now and appreciate these little moments, and it may just change your entire perspective on life. And if you're still feeling down, maybe even create like a journal where you write down the things that you're grateful for, or just take a walk in nature and look around and listen and see all the beautiful things that surround us every day. And step number 5, seek help if needed. If you're really struggling, then talk to a therapist or a counselor, or join a group where you can release some of these emotions, get them out, and put them on the table amongst other people that you feel safe and that you trust. And a lot of times, this sort of release can really help us find more grounding in our current lives. I've leaned on mentors, friends, and a men's group for over 10 years now. And I find it unbelievably good in helping me keep focus, stay motivated, and challenged all at the same time. And heck, if you don't have anyone, you can always call me and contact me. I do mentor sessions and I help people with all of this stuff and I love doing it. So the email's in the description. You can hit me. That's my ad for this video. And here's the kicker. Your life isn't going to change overnight if you follow these 5 steps. However, it will 100% change and get better over time. And then you will look back and you will literally go, oh my God, look where I was and look where I am now. You will feel it. You will feel a difference. And believe me, I know. Okay, so what is one step that you're taking today to begin to develop more meaning in your life? If you've got an idea, if you've got a step, throw it in the comments. I read them all, would love to hear it. And if you like this content, then like, subscribe, share it with a friend who you think might need to hear this sort of thing. And let's just make the world a more meaningful place. Thanks again for your time. I appreciate it. Until next one.